Hello my fellow investors, collectors, owners, and everyone who is interested in Soviet gold and silver jewelry as well as collectibles. Today we have a very special video, and that is because in it I will reveal our #1 objective that I have set for myself, for our entire team, and obviously the entire Soviet jewelry project. Now this objective is non-profit. However, just striving towards it, moving towards it, has greatly benefited, yielded great dividends to the investors who have believed again in our project, and obviously to ourselves as absolute leaders of the entire Soviet jewelry market, the entire international market for Soviet gold and silver and platinum, palladium collectibles. We are leading it by every standard: first website, #1 website, first books, first articles, first publications, best market analysis. We lead this there's nobody else like us, and again, this all is there not to show off, but to say that we as absolute leaders. So it is up to us to declare our #1 objective. However, before I do that, I want to open up this video like this. So before you is obviously a glass cup filled with Soviet gold jewelry and collectibles. I put it there for a reason, and it's not, again, to impress you. To serious collectors and investors, this is not a big amount. It's only a small amount from our personal collection. But I threw it all together, again, for a very specific reason. I could have presented all nice, all by themselves. But I didn't want to do that, again, because of what I'm about to tell you. And that is as follows. This cup is a perfect representation of the entire international Soviet jewelry market. Meaning, if you take all these items that are all over the world, from ex-Soviet states to now the vast amounts that exist in North America, Central Europe, Israel, whatever, and you pull them all together, this is roughly what you will see, just in much bigger amounts. That is a perfect representation of the global Soviet jewelry market. Now here you will see gold, but when I speak about the Soviet jewelry market, Soviet jewelry, Soviet collectibles, always keep in mind Soviet silver. In fact, it's growing much faster than Soviet gold percentage-wise. Return on investment is actually better than Soviet gold. Soviet gold is the absolute king, the leader, the most expensive, the most valuable, the most treasured, but Soviet silver is just skyrocketing, it's catching up. Well, it never catched Soviet gold, but it's just the percentage on ROI is incredible. So as you look at this cup, returning to our #1 objective, which I am about to tell you, without further ado, again, our #1 objective is simple. It is to make you money. To make you, the investors, the collectors, the owners, the future investors, collectors, and owners, to make you money. Now, it may not be money in physical, tangible dollars, euros, rubles, or yens, or whatever you wish to perceive it as, but the way we wish to make you money is by increasing the value of your assets, meaning the value of your Soviet gold, silver, platinum, and palladium collectibles. That is our #1 objective. Again, we do not profit from it, but the fact that your assets now became more expensive doesn't do me any good. Well, I will be very pleased about it, but other than that, it's great for you, and this is what we want to achieve. We want to make you, all of you, rich. And if you think about all the Soviet jewelry owners worldwide, just ex-Soviet states, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, all these countries, every second, third, or fourth person owns Soviet gold jewelry, Soviet silver jewelry, various collectibles from the Soviet Union, from precious metals. These are millions upon millions, probably hundreds of millions of people. However, there's even a bigger, not even bigger yet, but there's a vastly growing international demand from China, Brazil, Switzerland, Central Europe in general, North America, United States, biggest buyer and collector and investor in Soviet gold collectibles. And this population of collectors, investors and owners is quickly growing. And for all of you from west to east, we wish to make you money by increasing the value of your Soviet gold and silver assets that you own and already have acquired. And all of your future assets to continue increasing the value, so whenever new investors come, even if they purchase it at certain increased price, whenever they wish to decide to do that, this acquisition, the value of these collectibles will continue to grow, and that's because of our organization. This is what we are interested in. We are successfully achieving this goal. We're successfully achieving it by continuous research, historical publication, financial publications, news reports, articles, videos, books like these. This one was published in Russia in print. We have, obviously, for those of you who haven't seen, English versions in digital format. We are pushing this market. We're making press releases and many other actions. We're working with collectors, investors, and everybody else all over the world to continue grow the value of Soviet collectibles, primarily of precious metals. That is our number one objective, and we're successful at it. We already increased, since our project started, we already increased the value of Soviet gold, for example, 4 times, Soviet silver, it increased time by times 6 factor. These are tremendous figures, especially if you think about the large population that owns these collectibles, by how much, what the assets that they own, by how much they have grown. These are millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars, which we are giving to various countries and the populations of those countries in the form of increased asset value. It's like looking at your car that you last year bought for 10,000, and suddenly today, due to some group that is interested in let's say antique cars, and you bought an antique car for 10,000, and they're continuing actively and marketing and developing this market of antique cars, which are actually, by the way, from our research, also are increasing in value, but that's not the point, have suddenly worth 50,000. Wouldn't that be great? Now, for all Soviet jewelry collectors, owners, and investors, this is exactly what we are doing. And we already achieved a great portion of our ultimate goal, because Soviet jewelry we perceive will go higher and higher and higher. So I think we only achieved maybe 20% or so. And that's an increase times 4. 4 times the value before we started with this project. Because before 2007, before I written my first article, Soviet jewelry collectibles were being sold as what's called on international sites, say, let's say eBay.com. They were sold there at absolute bottom gold prices, just basically the melt value of gold. And when we started doing, again, I started writing my publications up to 2009, then our site launched in 2010, and then we started growing exponentially as an organization that leads this market. Parallel to that, the more effort we gave, the more PR we created, and the interest and the research and the marketing and everything that went into developing the entire Soviet jewelry market, the more actual Soviet gold collectibles, on average, as you see here in this cup, they watches, earrings, rings, chains, and so forth, pins. Everything has, on average, increased in value. So that is our achievement, and we wish to continue to do that, and wish to outline to everybody that this is openly our number one objective, and we're going to strive for it regardless of what. Regardless of what may come or how things may turn out. However, again, moving in this direction has already been very successful and profitable to us, so it's a no-brainer really. And now I wish to talk about some interesting aspects that people have asked us to cover, and I wish to outline them in this video. And one of them is that many investors have noticed, wait a minute, Soviet jewelry prices are a little bit starting to level out, or they're not growing as fast as you have promised. And I'm here to openly tell the entire market of these factors. Number one, Soviet jewelry is still, not completely, but is still tied to gold bullion. The gold prices on actual metal are going down. In contrast, Soviet jewelry is staying stable or slowly growing. Number two, the whole situation in Eastern Europe with Ukraine, sanctions on Russia and so forth. And as if you go on eBay.com and search Soviet gold 583 or Soviet silver 875, these are the key words. It will show you all the mostly either Soviet gold or Soviet silver, primarily what is available on the market on eBay on that day. You will see a tremendous amount of these collectibles coming from Russia and coming from Ukraine, despite the fact that these collectibles are not actually by law permitted to leave those countries. Still, they're going around it and they are arriving on the international market. And this influx of Soviet gold collectibles has been tremendous. It nearly doubled in Soviet silver, almost doubled again on Soviet gold, just from these two countries alone. And those people are obviously trying to get a deal, and they're selling them at lesser prices. However, on average, even with that, Soviet gold collectibles are staying stable, and many of them are growing in value, as exactly we have stated. On top of this, it has been a summer. Not only has the investors, collectors, and owners have taken a break from the market, we ourselves have basically took a large break over the summer. As you have seen, we haven't published many reports, so we have stopped our PR machine for Soviet gold and silver collectibles. And that, again, is a clear proof that when we stop, the market slows down. When we start working, the market heats up. And guess what? It's fall and we're back to work. So expect prices to grow and more success. And again, I'm telling you all of this open. When the way we run this project is, there is no secrets, it's all full disclosure. I am as absolute leader of it, I'm responsible, and I'm telling you the exact situation on the market. And I'm happy to do that. So expect Soviet gold and silver collectibles, and those again who own those rare collectibles from platinum and palladium. Expect them to double, triple, and continue this amazing growth in the future, despite the downslide of the gold prices, despite the increased amount of actual products being put onto the market. Why? Because Soviet jewelry are very unique collectibles with incredible history of high quality and limited or non-replenishable supply with little fakes. So they're actually pulling away from just being dependent on the gold value, and I've written it again in this book, and again it's in the English version as well, that Soviet gold, yes, it's tied to the gold bullion or the gold price of pure gold as metal, but again it's not completely tied. It's sort of slightly codependent on it. And the further this market heats up, the further Soviet jewelry is being pulled in a positive direction, meaning it is increasing in value. Why is the massive influx of Soviet gold collectibles Soviet gold and silver collectibles onto the market from Russia and Ukraine are not impacting very seriously the prices again. Simple. The market is becoming really popular with investors and collectors, and more of them are coming in and buying up these assets. That's why you don't see many very cheap Soviet jewelry collectibles, especially from gold, because everybody scoops them up very fast. The lower ones are gone just like that. And that is normal. The market is developing, so it's absorbing all the punches, all the downturns, unlike no other collectibles market. And once they stabilize, it'll be like a slingshot that has been pulled back, it's going to skyrocket, and it's going to go way up. It's not our prognosis, it's basically inevitable. So again, I'm telling you that Soviet jewelry collectibles, we already, to give a clear example, when we took this market, Soviet gold ring cost approximately $100. Heavy, nice, with a stone Soviet gold ring. Now, by today, again increased by 4 to 5 times, it costs about $400 to $500. Now today we are telling you the Soviet jewelry market will continue this growth, and we are going to continue pushing for the increased value of these unique collectibles, and everybody has beginning to agree with us now. So all of you owners that are buying these collectibles today at 500 may expect in the near future, in several years, that these unique items will be worth 2,000, 4,000 and so forth. And in fact we already have seen a great deal of Soviet collectibles, despite any downturns in gold, despite again the influx from Eastern Europe of these collectibles. Despite all that, a great deal of high-end Soviet jewelry, and by high-end it's actually an interesting story to tell, is just Soviet gold collectibles, Soviet gold jewelry with precious stones. These assets suddenly sell, and the precious stones by themselves, you plug them out, will be nearly worthless, but again, in Soviet jewelry collectibles, as authentic pieces, they are selling, and you have that data. Go to our website. We post all the sale reports. We post our sales reports often. Not our sale reports, but market sales reports. We actually to date haven't sold a single Soviet gold collectibles to the wide audience, maybe to private investors, but that's private. But publicly we haven't sold anything. But again, we post those reports, and you can see very unique, very rare Soviet collectibles with precious stones made of gold, primarily gold, are selling for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, some 6,000, and privately, we can tell at private auctions, we already seen Soviet jewelry, again from gold, sell as high as $10,000 to $20,000. So the market in reality is heating up, and it has a tremendous potential for growth. There's a lot of room to grow, first of all, and the potential as well, and that's going to happen, especially again since summer is over and we are back to work. In light of that, all I can say to end this video is invest in Soviet gold collectibles, invest in Soviet silver jewelry, and understand that this is a very profitable market, and we are non-stop working on your behalf to grow the value of your assets, your Soviet jewelry. Until next video, hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye-bye.